Hello everyone, welcome back. Today in this video we're going to learn about perceptron. Okay, now let's see what is perceptron. Yeah, it was proposed by Frank Rosenblatt, an American psychologist. Proposed classical perceptron model in 1958, and it is a general computation model. It is more general computation model than the Minkowski-Spitz model. Okay, here the main difference between a Minkowski-Spitz model and the perceptron is here the weights are added in it, and the mechanism of for learning these weights are added in perceptron. Okay, here inputs are no longer Boolean values. Here you will have real values because the weights are added, and the output will have a real value. And it was more refined and carefully analyzed by Minsky and Papert. Their model is referred to as the perceptron model here. Okay. Now let's see. Here in perceptron we will apply the bias values for the function which is W0 and X0, the more accepted convention. Okay, this is when we apply W0 and X0 as the bias values, the output which we will get which is more accepted convention. Now let us take an example and understand more about it. Okay, consider the task of predicting whether we should like a movie or not. We would like a movie or not. Okay, I said you about the example line. Okay, suppose we base our decisions on three inputs. X1 is the input that you will like actor Damon. Okay, and X2 is the input that you will like a genre thriller, and X3 is the input that director Nolan. If the director Nolan, you will watch the movie. If the genre of the movie is a thriller, then you will watch the movie. And if the actor is a Damon, you will watch a movie. Okay. And guess which is the movie? Interstellar. Okay. Based on past viewing experience, we may give high weight to director Nolan as compared to other inputs. Okay, if you will definitely watch only director Nolan's, okay, you will give a weight for him for the X3 more. Okay, then if the weight of if the input of the director Nolan is more, then the output will be more. Okay. W0 is called a bias as it represented the prior. I said you right. And a movie buff has a theta value is equal to 0. Do you know what is who is a movie buff? He doesn't care about the actors and the type of the movie and about the director. Okay. He will watch any movie. He is called as a movie buff. And the selective viewer. If let us say I am, okay, I am a selective viewer. I want an actor as a Damon, and I want a genre as thriller, and the director as Nolan. If these three conditions will apply, if these three conditions are true, then only I will watch a movie. Okay, like that. If any one of the condition is true, then I may watch a movie or not. Okay, with those the theta values will be directed. Okay, if the one condition is applied, then theta value will be 1. If two conditions are applied, then theta value is 2. If 3 are true, then only theta value will be 3. These weights and bias values will depend only on data. Okay. Now let's see Michaelos-Spitz model neuron and perceptron. What are the differences and about the equations? And okay, from the equations it is clear that you will have a weights in a perceptron, and you have a Boolean values in a Michaelos-Spitz model, and in perceptron you will have real values. And coming to the inputs, which produce one will lie on the one side of one side, and the inputs which produce zero value will lie on the other side. Okay. In other words, single perceptron can only be used to implement linear separable functions. Okay. Then the weights, I said you right, and we will first revisit some Boolean values which we performed in a Michaelos-Spitz model. We'll perform for the perceptron, and then we'll go with the perceptron algorithm. Okay. Yeah, R function. We applied R function here with the weights and input values. Okay. After applying, we will get a condition with a less than 0 or greater than 0, or less than greater than or equal to 0. Okay. With these values, we will perform a linear function, that is minus 1 plus 1.1 x1 plus 1.1 x2, which is equal to 0. That is theta value, and the line passes through 0, 1 and 1, 0. The points which lie on the line and above the line will give an output as 1, and the points which lie below the line will give an output as 0. Okay. One possible solution to this set of inequalities is W0 is equal to -1, W1 is equal to 1.1, W2 is equal to 1.1. And various other solutions are possible, and you may have different solutions. Okay. And coming to the algorithm of a perceptron learning algorithm, PLA. Okay. Here you will have an input of two inputs, that is P and N, which has a label as 1 and label as 0 respectively, and you will initialize the weights for each input, that is W1, W2, W3, so on, Wn randomly, and you will run a while loop which picks a random number from which belongs to the P union N. Okay, and you will check the conditions and perform the operation until it performs all the values. Then you will end the loop. You will get an output of perform the W values, which has an output. Then this is the algorithm. Coming to the explanation of algorithm. Yeah, explanation of a representation of a points, which gives the positive input and which gives a positive output and negative output. Okay, consider two vectors W and X. W has a values as W0, W1, W2, so on, Wn, and X has the values as 1, x1, x2, so on, xn. And you will perform the function which we know about the perceptron, the function of perceptron W into X, that is W transpose into X. If you transpose, the transpose is opposite the 90-degree angle of weights. Okay, and you will perform the function, and after rewriting it you will get conditions like y is equal to 1 if W transpose of X is greater than or equal to 0, and y is equal to 0 if W transpose of X is less than 0. Okay. Here we are interested in finding the W transpose of X is equal to 0, which divides the input spaces into two halves. Okay, that is a positive output values and the negative output values. Okay, every point on this line satisfies the equation. Yeah, you may know that every point on the line, the function line, will satisfy the input equation. Yeah, what can you tell about the angle alpha? Yeah, the angle alpha is the angle which gives the angle from that function, from the line to the point. Okay, which lies on this line. Okay, you will perform a cos alpha is equal to WTX by mod x mod w. Okay, which should be equal to 0, which it should be equal to 0. Since the vector w is perpendicular to the every point on the line, so it is actually perpendicular to the line itself. Okay, see, this is the representation of the graph. Okay, you can see W transpose dot x is equal to 0 line, which is represented in a dotted line, which is perpendicular to the W line. You can see here, which is perpendicular to the W line, and the positive output points are in blue color and the negative output points are in red color. You can see you will have an acute angle, that is which is less than 90 degree from the point to the line, which is W line. You will have an acute angle, and the angle is greater than 90 coming to the negative points. Okay, and same by performing the W transpose and W transpose for the positive ones and W transpose for the negative ones, we will get mathematically that cos alpha of nu is less than cos alpha for the negative values and is greater than cos alpha for the positive values. Okay, by applying the algorithm we will get this. Coming to Adeline and Madeline. Here Adeline stands for adaptive linear element or adaptive linear neuron, and its basic structure is having an extra feedback loop with the help of which the actual output is compared with the desired or target output. You will compare the outputs of a target output and the desired output, and then you will train the algorithm based on after comparison, based on training algorithm, the weights and bias will be updated. Okay, your bias value will be updated and weights are updated after training the algorithm. Okay, coming to Madeline, it stands for multiple adaptive linear neuron or many Adelines. Okay, simply many Adelines. Okay, it is a network which consists of many Adelines in parallel. It will have a single output unit. Some important points about a Madeline are as follows. Okay, it is just like a multiple layer perceptron, and it has a Adeline layers as hidden layers between the input and the Madeline layer, and you have a weights and the bias between the input and Adeline layers, as in we see the Adeline architecture are adjustable. Okay, you can adjust the Adeline architecture, and sorry for the interruption. Okay, let's see here the architecture of a Madeline layer consists of n neurons of the input layer and n neurons of the Adeline layer and 1 neuron for the Madeline layer. Okay, you will have many Adelines compared to the Madeline layer. Okay, consider the hidden layer as it is between the input layer and the output layer, which gives the Adeline layer, So this is the architecture of a Madeline layer, Madeline, and these are the implementation for the perceptron, Adeline, and Madeline. Okay. You can see the error from the after the activation function. The error goes back to the weights and changes the weights for the perceptron. And here you will have an extra quantizer which performs the weights, and again you will apply the activation function. Then only we will get the output. Okay. In the Adeline layer, here you will have in Madeline you will have many Adeline layers that are Q1, Q2, Q3, so on, Qm. Okay. You have B as a bias one, and you will get a single output from all the hidden layers after the Madeline layer. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know about if I have missed some topics, so in the comments. So thank you. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.